Richard Dennis Ralston. First time I met him when I was in Dallas, Texas, as the director of tennis at the University Club in the Galleria. Dennis was a coach at SMU, and whenever there would be some rain dates, he would bring the SMU team, both men and women, to come and play the indoor courts at the University Club. Dennis and I became very close friends. He would also bring Chrissy Everett to come and train at our facility when she was coaching her for 7 years when she was #1 player in the world. So it was an incredible experience to watch Dennis coach the #1 player in the world at the time. Dennis is not only an incredible teacher, person, mentor to many people and pros and coaches, but also just an incredible human being who cares about people, cares about the game, cares about the history of the game. Dennis, congratulations on being inducted on the 2016 USTA Texas Division Hall of Fame. Well deserved.
There's two different things, two different aspects of Margaret that I see, and one was how I met her as a player, and she just loved tournaments, her passion for playing tournaments and all, but she was a relatively average tournament player when I met her in 1989. But from then, she has gone from being state-ranked to nationally ranked player, as we know from her resume, and even played in the world scene now in senior tennis. So just watching someone just get better as they get older is a wonderful sight. San Antonio has a history of really wonderful people, from the Walthall family, Clarence Mabry, you have Roger Ojeda, you have Bob McKinley, and Nancy Alfano, and those names are legend in how they've helped San Antonio. She's the next one.
Sue Bramlett got a late start in tennis, but has made up for that with her passion for competition, teaching, and organizing tournaments. Starting at age 32, Sue was taught by Texas Tennis Hall of Famer Jim Parker. After only 5 years of mentorship, in 1987, Sue won her first national title and also became certified by the USPTA. She was 3-time USPTA National Player of the Year, 35s, 45s, and 55s, and represented the USTA on the Alice Marble Cup and the Kitty Godfrey Cup teams. In 2015, Sue was named Player of the Year by Le Grand Dame. From 2007 to 2009, Sue served as president of the National Senior Women's Tennis Association and has been membership director since then. Since 2004, Sue has been tournament director of the USTA National Senior Women's Clay Court Championships. She has raised the funds necessary to make this the most popular senior women's national championship in the U.S.
I met Julie in the mid-90s. Westwood Country Club hired her away from Austin Country Club to run our women's programs, and we found what appeared to be the perfect person to do the job. 20 years later, she's still doing it. Julie's sort of the Pied Piper of women's team tennis in Austin. She knows how to train women to compete. She knows how to compete herself, and she's applied that to her teaching skills. Julie's best character trait is definitely her commitment, and it's a commitment to excellence. Commitment to, when you see her play tennis every day, it's her commitment to practice, it's her commitment to how she goes about herself and her job. I have to say commitment's her top character trait. Julie's a true professional. She handles herself in a manner that you could only ask someone to. She really knows how to take care of business. Julie, from your family and friends at Westwood and all over Texas, we congratulate you on your induction into the Texas Tennis Hall of Fame.
Well, from a tennis pro standpoint, back in the 80s, Ron got all of the pros together from Corpus Christi. And the one thing he asked us all to do was to work together. So, and the mission, the thing that he said the most was for us to work together, and if we grew tennis, we would each have a bigger stake in tennis. And from that, we developed the Junior Grand Prix circuit, the Adult Grand Prix circuit, and many, many other programs. We worked a lot on tennis across America. He was president of the South Texas Pro Tennis Association, president of the USPTA Texas, president of USPTA, executive director of the USPTA. I mean, how do you do all of that and not mean an amazing amount to Texas? He knows everything. He's my mentor, and I could talk for hours, but he's Texas tennis. Ron is amazing. You can walk up to him. It doesn't matter who you are. My kids call him Uncle Ron. He's just, to me, Ron is excellence. He's everything there is about tennis.
Can't think of anyone more deserving of such an honor. Ona Lee Johnson is the face of tennis in the panhandle of Texas. Had Ona Lee not been around, there wouldn't be tennis. She's synonymous with having built the tennis program and everything that anyone knows about tennis in Amarillo, Texas. I think one of the things, and particularly the one thing that Ona Lee, in addition to being the face of tennis, Ona Lee has mentored so many individuals in our area who now serve at a dedicated level at the local and at the state level and also nationally. I want to thank her because if she hadn't asked my husband to serve on AATA's committees, we wouldn't be here today, and it's a great opportunity to give back to tennis, and I thank her for having mentored me to be involved in Texas at this level.
He cares. He cares so much about all of the players and all levels of players, adults and juniors. He wants to know them, know their story, and make sure that they have great tennis experiences. We have so many players that have played as juniors, left the game, come back, gotten back in touch with him. How do they get back into it? They could be in another city, another state, and they always come back and connect with him and find out what to do, where to go. And we like following their lives as they grow up and have families of their own. And we've been around long enough to where they come back and he'll be teaching maybe the kids of kids he's taught before. So it's super exciting to be connected to so many people and their lives. I feel that Jerry's meant so much to tennis in Texas. From the USPTA side and from the USTA side, he's connected at every level. He's a huge connecting factor for Texas tennis, and he's also so enthusiastic about making these connections and getting people together. So he's a huge facilitator of Texas tennis.
Chris has basically taught junior tennis since he quit playing the tennis tour in his early 20s, so almost 50 years now, and he has been able to develop juniors from beginners all the way through professional. Not many pros that I know of are able to do that complete spectrum as Chris has done. He's had over 100 of his students that have won Super Champ, sectional type of events here in Texas. He's got over 25 national junior champions. He's had over 100 players that have been able to attend colleges, and 25 players of his have also gone on to play professional tennis. What makes him even more special is his ability to make them a young man and a young woman. As great a tennis teacher as he is, he's even a better human being. And he was my tennis coach growing up, and he's now working on second generation, my son Peyton. And I wouldn't trust too many other people other than Chris to take on my son.
John has been an integral part in us growing the programs out here. We started out with courts that needed some major work, and he spent over $90,000 to help us get the clay courts resurfaced, and then helped us get all 4 courts resurfaced with Pexi played in the past year. John has really promoted us and USPTA by letting the membership know what USPTA Texas and USPTA National and USTA is. So he's made a concerted effort to encourage us in participation in events, as well as bringing those events to the club and letting our members be a part of it. John is really good at allowing us to build programs that we feel are something that the membership will enjoy, and he holds us accountable to that within himself and in with our owners and with our members, but he's very willing for us to look outside the box and create new opportunities that are going to get players on the court and get members out here at the club.
I've known Sue for a good 20 plus years. I was her daughter's coach, and we spent many hours traveling to and from Wichita Falls back in the days when the junior sectional was there. Sue has probably dedicated more time and effort to senior women's tennis than anyone I know. I think Sue's heart is in such a great place, especially when it comes to tennis, and it's meant a lot to her and to her family, and she gives back to the community and to all of her friends on the senior circuit by finding sponsors, by running the tournament, by being sensitive to all the needs of the players and the organization. And I think she's more than deserving of this award, and frankly a lot of others. Congratulations, Sue. Well deserved. Thank you for all that you've done for senior tennis.
Well, Gerald loves tennis. I've known Gerald since he's 15 years old. Came to train with me. We're from the same country called Suriname in South America. And loved tennis, was a hard worker, and really has spent his life in tennis. And so because of his love and he's smart, that makes him a great manager, because he puts the people first, the public first, the people that come to play here first over his own private lessons and so on and so forth. All the courts basically have been resurfaced. The facility has been exponentially improved. It is not yet where they want it, but you can clearly see how many courts there are. They're brand new courts, fences are new, facilities are new. It is going to be one of the premier facilities in the United States. Gerald, I just want to commend you for what you've done over here. Keep up the good work. I'm proud as your friend, brother, father, mentor, a friend, a colleague, proud of what you are doing over here and what you will continue to do. So keep it up, my man.
Randy has meant a lot to tennis. Randy has especially latched on to wheelchair tennis. I met Randy about 25 years ago. I think when I first met Randy, I was on the national staff, and I always ask people, why are they interested in wheelchair or adaptive sports? And Randy just said, I just fell in love with it. And so a lot of times people have a connection through a brother or a sister or a child, but not Randy. Randy's just a good person. Randy will do the things that nobody else will do. Randy's been on the National Wheelchair Tennis Committee for years. He's kind of older in dirt, so he's been there for, I don't know, 10 or 15 years. He's always been helping in Texas. He's been the chairman of the Wheelchair for Texas. So thank you, Randy. There's nobody more deserving than you for this award.
Well, Rex is a true leader when it comes to diversity and inclusion in Texas, both on court and his volunteer time as well. So he's served on the USTA Texas for the Diversity and Inclusion Committee and has really grown tennis specifically for juniors who don't have necessarily the resources to play the sport that we all love. His work also with the LGBT tennis communities, mainly in Dallas, in the Sets in the City Tennis Club, as well as Oaklawn Tennis Association, really opening the doors of Village Country Club to these populations to experience this sport in an inclusive and warm environment. I think Rex really embodies what it means to be a tennis player and the joy that tennis brings to many individuals. And his work in the community to bring tennis to the LGBT population, to juniors who don't necessarily have the resources to play this sport, I think demonstrates his character as a tennis professional and as a human being.
Trevor's probably touched all parts of tennis in Texas. He's been involved, obviously, when he was a younger child. He was in tournaments, and then after college, he spent time doing team tennis. Went to state multiple times, I think he did national once or twice, and really loved that part of being part of the team. Trevor and I both got into officiating about the same time, but he moved quickly up to the referee there in the Panhandle. He became the referee for the junior tournaments and for college tournaments, and almost every official that is in that area has been trained by him or recruited by him. And as officials would go away and he would need help, especially being in such a big area there in Lubbock and Amarillo and Abilene and all that, he would bring a new official along, help them with confidence, because that's a lot of times what it is, and he would build that in them and train them and correct them. And I think, no doubt, his being a principal and being a middle school principal, being a teacher, being a high school tennis coach has helped him as he's grown those officials. You know, I think also from the element of he's just a fair guy, and that's made him a great referee and a great coordinator for that area.
Kelly always has a million really great ideas, but she's one of those few people that actually follows through and makes the ideas happen. So I know last year, about 20 different times. I would take the huge box full of juniors rackets out of the cattle closet up to Kelly and Garrett because they were going into elementary schools, middle schools, private schools, public schools, and they just got a ton of kids hooked on tennis really quickly. All of her kids, her juniors that play for her, adore her and love being around her. She's just one of those coaches that's really into her kids. She went to Nukes with me one time with the Grand Prix team. We took 18 kids down there, and all of the players wanted to be with Coach Kelly the whole weekend. They wore her out. She's just got a really positive attitude, and she loves the sport. She's been playing forever. When she was little, actually, she played in some Charlie McCleary tournaments in Waco. Kelly is the life of the party. She just brings all of the fun to every event that she's involved in.
Bruce is amazing. He is the most dedicated enthusiast for tennis that I probably ever met in 40 years of tennis. Bruce actually started several tennis leagues from the time that he first started working as an adult. His primary goal over the last couple of decades has been Fort Worth Tennis Association. He has been a president of the Fort Worth Tennis Association. He's been a committee member. He has been a player, a league player. He's been an official. In fact, he's on a national committee for officials. He also is the chair of the officials committee for USTA Texas. But he's so quiet and so unassuming that people just, oh yeah, Bruce is an official. He is so much more than that, but he is so humble and so quiet about it, and he just keeps on keeping on doing what he does without beating his chest and saying, look at me, look at what I've accomplished. In fact, when I nominated him, and I gotten all the history from him as well as some other people, when I put it all together, he looked at it and he said, oh, I forgot I did that. Oh yeah, I forgot I did that. That's just Bruce. That's just who he is.
Jenny runs multiple clubs, and I mean, it's insane. She does so much work. She's always running tournaments, spreading the word. I mean, we're doing homeschool kids that needed a PE credit, and they're coming to us with tennis, and it's just small little things like that. Jenny is growing it exponentially, and she does a great job at it. She's got a really good, fun personality, likes to joke with you on the court, and I like that too. I feel like people feel very relaxed with her when she does drills and everything. She can adapt to whatever your ability is, and she's got an act for it. She's definitely in the correct career field because I can't see her doing really anything else. It's always really fun getting to play in on her drills, even though it's dodgeball for me. I really enjoy being on court with her for that aspect.
Couldn't think of a better family that deserves this award because of their love of tennis. Paul Cass was the coach at King High School for over 20 years. He worked with many top-ranked juniors. He won 20 straight district championships. He had regional champions and state champions. And one year he actually had multiple state champions, girls singles, girls doubles, and boys doubles. My favorite memory would be when Paul worked with my kids at King High School. I mean, he did a great job with them as players on this team. Also, Paul, as a player, I've played against him a few times. He's one of the few players I know that can show up for a match and be almost dead and beat you love and love. Judy Cass, his daughter, was a world-ranked player, teaching tennis in Boston right now. As I said, she was ranked #1 in the world at one time in her age division. She's won multiple gold balls along with her dad. Son Brian is an excellent player in his own right. He's won several tennis championships in Texas, 35 and over titles. And mom, Judy, keeps them all together. She was a volunteer in Corpus on many occasions for several events that we've had down there. So they're a great family. Glad I nominated them. And congratulations, Paul, Judy, and Brian.